I guess basically a PNTV. I'm riding to work. I don't know if anybody's going to join this live because it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm only doing it this way because trying to see if it addresses the sound issue that some of you are experiencing once the video uploads. In addition to, I'm out of storage space on my phone, so it's easy for me to do it live than to try to record a video and then upload it later. Plus, T-Mobile just sent me the message telling me that I was out of I was out of upload time, even though they're supposed to be free. I'm uploaded or they slowed it down or what have you. So anyway, I'm just here to talk about this week. It's been a crazy week in politics. My chat is on, but I may not respond to you because, yes, you can see I'm driving to work. Yeah, there we go. So this week has been crazy. I don't know if you guys have been watching all these different trials that's been going on. We got Trump trials going on. We got the Fani Willis hearing. I keep hashtagging it Fani trial, but it's actually not a trial, but it feels like she's on trial. She's in a hearing to see if she's going to be disqualified or not from leading that case. That has been going on. We had the Hunter Biden and Joe Biden shenanigans going on. We had the Department of Homeland Security impeachment going on. It's so much going on, and mainly in the world of politics, that this has been a crazy ass week. Okay, so I think I talked about most of these things, but in regards to Fani Willis, so on day 2 of her hearing, we recessed day 1 of her hearing with one more lawyer needing to address Fani Willis. I said Williams, didn't I? Fani Willis. One more lawyer needing to speak to her, and then across by her own attorney. On day 2, I missed it. I wasn't sitting at home watching the case at all. I had a couple of doctor's appointments, and while I started watching, then they went to a recess, a long recess. By the time the recess happened, I was in my appointments, and by the time I got done with my appointments, I was ready to go to the movies. So I didn't see any other trial, but I do know that her father testified. Nathan Wade's former partner testified. Who else we get? We got a governor who also testified, who actually was the person that Fani Willis said was her first choice to be hired instead of Wade. I want to say it was another person. Might have been one more person that supposedly had testified. It was still a shit show for me personally. But Fani they did not call her back up to the stand. They gave her too much power, baby, on day 1. I told you when I first started watching that trial, I was a little bit worried because I was like, all these doggone trips keep coming up. However, the trips all happened after the time frame that they finally said that they were actually dating. Again, she never did say that they did not have a relationship. She did not deny it at all. She just started saying that they just targeted her, and she went on the defense. But then they finally said, okay, yes, we did have a brief relationship, and some of the trips that was taken was before this relationship was supposed to have began. That's where we were at. So, like I said, her whole hearing, her whole testimony was very explosive. It was so unapologetically black. She was giving us all her little Inglewood, all her little Cali was coming out, baby. When she told that girl, 2 things that hit home for me is when she asked her, did she know? Did she understand the word no? And the second one was when she told her, don't get cute with me. Baby, Fani was giving me life. They didn't want no more of that. The whole internet blew the hell up in regards to that testimony. They didn't want no more of that. They didn't want no more of that. She ripped them a new asshole. She gave them a taste of what it's going to be like if by chance, she does get to try this case. And they ain't ready for it. So they decided not to call her back up at all. So they moved forward. They called her daddy up. I didn't know who he was at first because they kept saying Mr. Floyd. I didn't realize Mr. Floyd was her daddy. They called him up at first, even though he looked like us. I don't know why, but I wasn't watching. I was just listening. They called him up, and that was the clips that I saw. They called him up. The only thing I know I got from that clip is that he said that holding money was a black thing. I saw that clip. And I was like, yes, daddy, tell them. Tell them. And to be honest, it really ain't just a black thing. However, culturally speaking, it is a black thing simply because banks did not want to fuck with black people back in the day. And when they did, they fucked over us. So black people made it a habit of keeping money on themselves so they wouldn't have to go to the bank and ask the banks for shit. Now, the 6-month rule, I don't know when that became a thing, but I remember it being a thing as well. Hell, financial institutions would tell you that today. You should have at least 6 months worth of expenses in your savings. We as black people say on hand. When we go on dates, we try to keep cash on hand in case something pop off and we need to get home and find a way home. I told my daughter that. My mama told me that. I think I told you guys that I've always kept cash on me if I had to go on an outing so I could get the fuck back home in case something popped off. So that's always been a thing. But as far as like keeping money at home, they trying to make it seem like, oh my God, it's a lie she keeping money at home. No, nobody do that. It ain't a lie. Because like, we have always kept money at home. How much money we keep is up to the individual person. But the thing is, Italian families do it. They keep money at home. They got safes where they can just go into the wall and pull out money. Even white people do it. They got money in the cookie jar. They had money in the cereal box. There's money in the mattress. Money in the shoe box. So I don't know why these people were acting like it was such a obscene idea that she can keep money at home. How you doing, everybody that came in? I told y'all I'm just doing this video because I don't have any space on my phone to actually do a recording video, so I figured I would do it live. And if y'all here, I appreciate it. But I'm talking about the case with the Fonnie Willis hearing right now, and I'm speaking about the money aspect. So if y'all want to chime in, feel free to chime in. Do y'all believe that it's such an obscene idea or to have money at home? Like I say, I know many people that do that. They may not keep the 6 month worth of expenses, even though I understand it. Like I said, even financial institutions tell you to keep 6 months worth of expenses in your savings. We may not be able to afford to do it all the time, but that's exactly what they recommend you do as well. But just culturally speaking, because of the fact that banks would not deal with black people and banks would fuck over black people back in the day, black people kept money at home. Y'all heard all the stories. Y'all remember the movie Soul Food if you've seen it. When the kitchen set on fire, all the money came out the damn wall. We keep money at home. You may not know that we got it there. We may always cry broke. Like my bank account, my main bank account will hit a certain dollar amount and I tell y'all I ain't got no more money. I tell you I'm broke. It's only been a couple times in my life that I've actually been broke. And that's when I first moved here. And then after I bought this house, I was broke for a little while after I moved about this house. But culturally speaking, right, you didn't think it was such a big deal, but they try to make it seem like she can't keep money in her home, and she's somebody that makes $200,000 a year. So the dollar amounts that she's talking about, she's keeping in her home, that is not a far-fetched idea. But like I said, we watch. This is a TV channel here. You know, we watch a lot of movies. The Italians, they keep money in the safes, in the wall, behind picture frames. Most rich people keep money at home. Keep cash money at home. They keep their jewelry at home. So it's not such a far-fetched idea. So, but the problem I think with the testimony from what I saw, like I said, I watched the clip because I didn't see the hearing at all yesterday. There was one point where they asked the dad, had he watched any of the testimony, and he said yes. And I know that was supposed to be a violation because all the people who were testifying were supposed to be sequestered. However, he did say that he wasn't a subpoenaed witness either. So I wonder if that sequester was supposed to be on the people who were subpoenaed only. It didn't sound that way to me from the judge, because I think the judge was saying something about we had instructed everybody to instruct their witnesses that they're supposed to be not paying attention to the media. So that might hurt them in that case. I don't know. I didn't get to see what was going down with Wade's former partner. I'm going to watch some clips on that today. So, yeah, that was just but overall, if y'all put it down in the comment section, put it in the chat, if you still here, how do you think the hearing went? Do you think that there is a chance? Okay. Yeah, her dad was on top of it. Yes, sir. Yeah, her daddy, just from the clip I watched, that one clip, I'm like, yes, daddy was on it. I made a whole tweet about it. And then, like I say, he's a former lawyer as well. He's a former Black Panther. Your daddy was on it. I'm sure, I got to watch the whole thing. I think he did like a 39-minute testimony, so I'm going to have to go back and watch it today if I can. But overall, just watching from day 1 and day 2, if you were able to watch. If you weren't able to watch, the links are actually on my community tab where you can click in and you can watch the hearings. It's done now. It's wrapped up. It's over with. There will be no more witnesses called, no more testimony. I feel that they proved their case. Fonnie Willis and her team proved their case. That there was no conflict because there was no financial gain that she had by Wade, giving Nathan Wade the job. That's what I feel. Because that's the whole thing. Regardless of how many trips they took, if they stick to the facts and focus, right, if they stick to the facts, I believe that this was a waste of time. This was a waste of the court's time. They just want to dig into this woman's business, and they thought that she was going to be too afraid to let it out. If they stick to the facts, there's no way that she should be disqualified. Now, what it could have done is what I thought it could have done would still remain a stain on her reputation in the eyes of a jury once we go to trial. That's what I thought. But when she came up there and testified herself, that changed a whole lot of people's points of view. I was in different comments on different channels, on different news channels, just some local channels and everything. And a lot of the people was like, you know what, I didn't like her at first, but after watching this, babe, I just want to see her testify. I just want to see her tear him down. She has to be the one to put this case on for me. I got excited. I mean, my blood started just burning. I was like, ooh, I got excited, child. So, yeah, I don't think at all that they proved their point because they didn't have any witnesses other than the former friend. I don't know why they keep calling her best friend. She was never a best friend at all. She was somebody she knew back in college, used to kick it with. They called back up with each other 10 years ago. She gave the girl a job. Something happened along the friendship, along the job, that they broke the friendship off. And Fonnie says betrayed her. I don't know what happened. Maybe she the reason why she ain't with the DJ Deuce no more. Ain't no telling. Something happened wrong with that lady where they friendship, where Fonnie gave her the option to resign or to be fired. So, because she used to be Fonnie's employee, Fonnie had gave her a job, and so she's no longer work there. And I saw a lot of people saying, "Hey, what's up, Fonnie?" I saw a lot of people saying in comment sections that the friend had no reason to lie. She's a scorned friend. They had an issue where it's a betrayal that when the lady's name was brought up, Fonnie went instantly into defense mode. Like, fuck this. She had this look on her face like, fuck that bitch. That's the look she had on her face. She ain't no friend of mine. She made it clear, right? In addition to the fact that she lost her damn job, her good government job working for the district attorney's office. Fonnie had to fire her from her job or whatever they was working at. She was working for Fonnie though. She would hold some animosity. When I saw that lady's interview, I was like, she lying. She lying and the truth ain't in her. Her eyes kept fluttering too much. She even shifted too much. You ain't even talking to nobody face to face. You on a doggone webcam, and you have that much. All the eye fluttering. Can't see my eyes with my glasses. My glasses got 10 on it. All the eye fluttering and batting and shit, stumbling over. I know people can be nervous talking to lawyers, but these lawyers, these people, they not just gonna put no witness up on the stand without preparation. This ain't like paternity court where they just call them up and say, "Hey, can you say your piece?" They prep these witnesses, and for her to be doing all the actions, I be watching body language and shit. I was like, that lady lying. And she may have some truth into what she's saying about some things, but overall, the overall context, the overall reason that she's here, she's lying. That's what I said. So, yeah, child, I'm waiting to see what they gonna say. Judge McAfee, they believe it's gonna take a full week to actually decide, so we may hear what his decision is coming up on Friday. I think he was just like flat out tired of these damn people. He was tired of listening to them talk. I called them the funky foolish four. I called them my kind of name. The 4 other lawyers that was questioning their eligibility. That's all they kept doing is repeating the same questions. Sometimes they didn't even change the way they asked the question. They just kept repeating the same question over and over again. That should have been some point that the judge was saying, ask and answer. She's already asked and answered. But like by the end, he was like, okay, we already did this, move on. I already told you not to talk about this, let's move on. No, we're not going to bring it up, move on. And then I just knew there's going to be a whole lot of objections going on back and forth. So, yeah, I don't see any reason that he should be able to say that she financially benefited from her giving him a job. They was having trips well before they started dating, and they stopped. You know, they had trips together when they was dating. The whole little sheep all the arrangements. 9 times out of 10, most people don't do the payment plan because your group has to be a certain size in order for you to get the payment plan with the travel agency. You pay the person who's making the booking. You pay them back. However you give them the money, that's how you give them the money. So I don't know. I believe that too because I've done that many times. That's why, you know, when we travel on trips and we got a group of friends going and we book it in our name, that's why we be mad when we don't get people to give us our money back right then, because we get time for the trip and then they cancel out and back out, and I done already paid my money up front for us to go on this trip. So yeah, I understand one person booking a trip and then me reimbursing that person for the trip. We've all done that if you've traveled. Okay, so the next big thing, Trump trials. So a lot of us don't remember that Trump had another fraud case with the state of New York that was dealing with Stormy Daniels. Most people thought that Stormy Daniels case was already done. They had not set the trial date. Everything that we were seeing up front was the preliminary hearing stuff, the oral arguments. Now the trial must begin. Okay, so the judge had already set a trial date for March 25th. But when Judge Chutkan in D.C. was going to do her trial, her federal trial, she had talked to that judge to find out if the dates were going to overlap. He said he didn't have no problem with her taking an earlier date, and that's how she ended up with the March 5th date, right? Normally when that happens, the judge would take the other date off the books to allow time for that trial to go through. He didn't remove it off his books. So once Trump filed for an appeal for the federal case, and they going through the Supreme Court trying to figure out if he got immunity and all that shit. Somebody's speeding up really fast. He got immunity and all that stuff. They had to pause that trial. So the March 5th trial is not going on right now. It's on an indefinite pause until we get information back from the Supreme Court. So that made the New York judge say, well, fuck it, we going forth with our trial. So he had preliminary hearings this week. Of course, in the preliminary hearing, Trump issued a statement or a briefing or a plea or whatever to say they want that case to be thrown out and dismissed as well, right? Within 2 minutes of the trial beginning, the judge said, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Within 2 minutes, he dismissed his rejection and said, trial, March 25th. Bring your A game. And this is a criminal trial. So the New York fraud case that was happening already with Letitia Green, that was a civil trial. Civil trials, you only got to get money. You get money for that. For criminal trials, you can get jail time. He has 34 felony accounts. 34 felony counts in this particular case. Stormy Daniels is set to take the stand. His former lawyer, Michael Cohen, who is now an anti-Trumpist, and he's the one who accepted who transferred the money on behalf of Trump to Stormy Daniels, and this was hush money because of all the business fraud allegations that he had, and Stormy Daniels was aware of a lot of stuff that was going on with Trump and his business dealings. They was paying off Stormy Daniels to keep quiet so Trump could try to get elected in 2016. So that's what that whole case is about, right? So now that we have the New York civil fraud case that has already proven that Trump has committed business fraud in the state of New York, they can add that information to this case to be fuel in the fire, baby. So the New York Stormy Daniels is what I'm gonna call it, the Stormy Daniels fraud case, hush money case. They were, let me get from under these trees, you can hear the rain on them. They were said to be one of the weakest cases of the 4 cases he had to go to court for. Okay, this has now become one of the strongest cases because of what happened in New York again with the fraud, the civil fraud case. So now this is one of the stronger cases, 34 counts that he's looking to go to jail for. And I believe there's jail or fines or whatever, but let's make it jail time. Fingers crossed for that shit there. So he got to go to court, and he has to appear in court. He can't just like say I don't want to show up, I don't want to show up. And I wonder if it was strategic that they chose Thursday to make that the preliminary date for him to appear, because all Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, Trump was on his social media network saying he gonna show up to Fonnie Willis' trial or hearing down in Georgia and sit there and smile on her face when she gets stripped of her eligibility and her case get thrown out, right? That's what he was bragging about all on social media. And then the New York judge said, no, sir, your case is on Thursday, your hearing is on Thursday, you need to have your ass in court. So he had to show his butt up in court, baby. And his trial for that officially starts March 25th. Unfortunately for us, it is not going to be televised. He's gonna have to come out in the hallways and lie to us again about what happened inside the court. But there will be court reporters, so hopefully we'll get some accurate information. But yeah, March 25th is the date we're going with that. So also this particular week, in the fraud case, the judge actually came back with his ruling as far as how much Trump had to pay. Okay, I've seen it 3 different ways. I've seen 343 million, 364 million, 354 million. So I picked the one in the middle. $354 million is what Trump is required to pay the state of New York and companies, some other companies or whatever. Between both his sons and Weisselberg, who they already he's already being sued for lying in court. He lied about, is Weisselberg the one that lied? He's the same one that lied about Biden? I think that's the same one. I'm gonna have to research that. So all 4 of them, between all 4 of them, is like 400 something million. But for just Trump alone, we're gonna take the middle number, $354 million is what he's required to pay, plus interest and penalties. With the interest and penalties added, it brings his total up to $453 million that he has to pay. That's on top of the E. Jean Carroll case, where she was awarded with $83 million. Now remember, this He went to court with EJ and Carroll 3 times. The first time she was awarded $5 million. The second time she was awarded $10 million. The third time she was awarded $83 million. I do not know if all three of those numbers get added up though, or the $83 million is the final sum total, because each case it wasn't like a brand new case. They just kept adding on more charges because they kept popping off at the gums. Where he gonna get this money from, y'all? There was this representative that posted on Twitter this morning that said that his wife started a GoFundMe to raise money for Trump, and you can click the GoFundMe to donate. I was like, boy, his coat is coming out. They gonna be mortgaging their houses. I said they gonna go to their grandmama's shoebox, but we all know that they don't believe that we can keep money in the house. And he got some black Trump supporters. There are some out there. But I said they're going to be standing in line at the plasma center. If y'all drive past any plasma centers and the line is long, y'all know they trying to donate because you get paid $100 to $150 for plasma. And they're going to try to donate to help Trump in his legal defense. The man who's rich. He's really rich. Okay, remember he said all that. And he would never ask his people for money because he's so rich. But that's where he's getting all his money from now. So I don't know when he has to pay. He can't file bankruptcy on none of this stuff. You know, prior to him becoming president, he had already filed bankruptcy 7 times. I think it was 10, but I know 7 is a safe number. He had already filed bankruptcy 7 times. So he can't file bankruptcy on this. And, you know, looking at the judge also stated in his argument that Trump also lied about the value of his Florida property as well, which leads me to believe he is insinuating that some Florida lawyer need to take up that shit as far as fraud happening in the state of Florida in regards to Trump's businesses. That's how I took it, because I don't know why he would mention that Flor-Lago was also devalued. Trump had lied about the valuation of that, which is how most of his business fraud dealings got caught, by him misvaluating property. I think I said that term right. I might not have said it right. But, child, it's been a week. It has been a week. And I'm at work now, though, so I can't talk no more about the other stuff that's happened. But just follow the page, PNTV's all over the channel. And hopefully y'all can hear this. Like I said, this is a straight live stream. I was doing this purposely to test to see what my volume was going to do. I ain't got no storage on my phone. And on top of that, T-Mobile told me I ain't got enough data to upload anything. So y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.